We are live.
We're on the air. Órale. Cool. ¿Ya están tocando las rolas o todavía no?
No, we're here in the Muffin Man.
We're in the Muffin Van.
Do you guys hear that in the background?
Kind of. Is that coming through a speaker?
It's coming. I'm playing it through my.
Oh, that's what it's coming through.
What about now?
No se escucha.
No?
No, para nada.
Aquí tu amigo locutor, programador y muy bien desconocido Dr. G.
Y su cómplice, el Chivo.
Y el Manolo Diabólico. Buenas noches. Pachoco.
What's up?
¿De dónde crees que es ese grupo que se llama Delirio?
Okay, when you put on Delirio on the list, antes que le escuché,
Flashbacks.
I was thinking que eran nuestros amigazos de Salinas. But I'm going, wait, he's playing it first. And Delirio was rock, but they weren't punk.
No.
So then I listened to it.
That is straight up formulaic punk.
Yeah.
Just music, simple.
Can you grab that for her?
Fucking one word repeated over and over. Pachoco.
You know who's a big fan of Delirio from Salinas was Felix.
Which Delirio? This Delirio?
No. Delirio from Salinas back in the day.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because I guess he used to bust their balls a lot, like over and over and over. And they kept showing up and they kept blah, blah. And finally he goes, you know what, dude? You guys are all right. You guys are good.
You guys paid your dues.
You guys paid your dues. He's all boom.
So this band is from, and you're right, it's on more on that, in what did you call it? Not experimental. Formulated punk, yeah. And they're from Tamaulipas.
Oh, nice.
They're from Tampico, Tamaulipas.
It's been a long time. Tenemos bastante tiempo que no escuchamos algo de Tamaulipas. So, are you proud or what?
I am. Are you?
Okay, so, ¿cuándo salió esta rola? Bachoco.
You know what? I don't remember.
Es el año pasado, man.
Okay. Yeah, not too long ago. It's fairly new, and I think the band is fairly new too. So
yeah.
Y de veras que me la encontré, just like always, just kind of looking around and bump into it, and I was like, oh wow, it's not bad, So anyhow, vamos a seguir esta noche porque estamos muy alternativos, estamos con la música de siempre.
¿De siempre?
Aquí en
Okay. So vamos a ir a España, vamos a escuchar a Lagartija Nick, una banda de Granada, España, que se formó en 1989.
Oh, dang.
So just a fun fact, el nombre Lagartija Nick es actually un sencillo de una banda legendaria, Bauhaus. So did they get their name from this one-shot single that Bauhaus did back in the day? I think there's a good connection. El primero álbum que sacaron Hypnosis. There's definitely some Love and Rocket, some Bauhaus sounds in there. Esta canción, it's a little bit more bluesy rock and roll.
Grab her machine and put it.
But
over there by the Look,
Este güey.
Regáñala, güey. Edúcala.
Let's just go on with Lagartija
Yeah,
Nick,
we'll
tan
come
raro,
back. We'll
tan
come back.
extraño.
They're badass. Yeah.
Este way, you weren't muted.
no, I swear, look. I'm gonna push mute right now. Music's on. Okay, I'm gonna push mute. It's not muted?
No.
No way.
No.
It's muted here on my.
It didn't. I kind of figured that you thought you were on mute.
Yeah.
Because and there's
It happened last time, so
I was trying to say
right Can you hear me?
Like, no, I can still totally hear you.
No way. Like, okay, something's up because
I can't mute you. I was gonna mute you, but I couldn't. Anyways,
so this band has been around since 1989. Their first 2 albums, and I've listened to their first 3 albums, but I really, really like their first album, que es, this song is off of that album, Hipnosis, que salió en el 91, y Inercia, que salió el año siguiente en 92. Both of those albums are fucking awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I can check him out, dude. Check him out. This shit was happening in 89, 91.
Yeah.
I definitely can see this band influencing like a lot of the bands that we listen to, like Triángulo, like Los Puncetes, stuff like that.
Yeah, I can totally yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like I started listening to their first 3 albums and I was like, whoa, wow, this was happening back then, and why the fuck didn't we know about it?
You know, we've talked about it many times, like sometimes because it's only licensed to a certain small region, and it, like, say they petered out in the mid 90s before they could actually so then
yeah.
You know.
But this band, so when I went online, their first album just had so many positive reviews. It's a legendary album by many standards. Yeah, wait.
I know I'm not live on the radio. And I'm still muted. Let me see. Still muted. Can you hear me?
We can hear you the whole time. You're not muted at all.
It's something's up because let me see. I'm gonna try to say something.
Mute it.
We can talk. Can you talk? You say something.
No, see, when I muted you, I can't hear you.
Oh.
Hello. I can't hear myself.
We can hear you the entire time.
We can hear you totally, dude. Your mic is. Why don't you just mute your mic when I mute?
The mic is the one I'm muting, but
okay.
But I'm just gonna have to put the slider all the way down. That's what I'm gonna have to do. Okay. Anyway, Facebook. It's a live show and it's a family show, right?
It is. Now it is.
I'm all regañando
Today
the kids in the background.
Parenting tips.
Good thing is there's no chanclazos anymore nowadays,
Right?
I don't know about your house, but my house there is.
Coscorrones and shit.
Yeah, no. Man, no, but yeah, you're there. With the music that you put together, Diabolico, and what's coming up next with Chivo, there is that alternative feeling. I totally feel like, and it's very international. Like when we used to get, and hence the closing band for tonight, which is Super Litio.
Yeah, that was a fun jam. I was kind of feeling kind of like a bluesy, garagey rock and roll thing. So that's kind of sort of what my blog was focused on.
It's really good.
Pero coming back to Lagartija Nick, this band's been around since 89, 13 albums. Their first album, which La Canción que Escuchamos is off of Hipnosis, it's considered like an iconic album. And if you check out their first 2 albums, Hipnosis and Inercia, you're gonna see how that sound. And you got to remember, this is 91 and 92, and you're gonna be like, "Fuck, these bands were listening to these guys."
Yeah,
13 albums, dude. So they've had a change in different band members, but since 2013, it seems like it's the original band again. Yeah. And I like Árbol de Ojos. It's been a long time since I played them.
Yeah.
You brought them a while back. So
because half of your set was like kind of like revisits.
Yeah,
it made me want to go down to like almost all my sets revisits.
Yeah. There's a lot of good shit, man.
Yeah. There's too much.
Can you guys hear the music in the background?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I can hear it low. Is that you, Hector?
That's me. Yeah. I need to have it on.
Yeah, and you guys could hear a little bit, but not all of it, right?
Yeah.
Or
not from you.
No?
No, let's escuchar.
I didn't even move anything of the settings this time, so actually the only one I'm looking, let me see if What about now?
No.
More?
I bet you it's a cable, dude. You need to patch a cable.
Give me a second. You gotta finish what you have in your mouth. A teddy bear?
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to music too.
His voice reminds me of I don't know if it was Andres from Quinchango or
Yeah, the guy from Quinchango's got an awesome voice.
What?
Blanquito man?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So right, his voice. I'm gonna go ahead and bring down my mic so you guys can go ahead. When I bring the big thumb up, is because you guys should get on the mic
on the live.
Finish.
All
right.
So pay attention to my finger.
The big thumb up. Ok, acabamos de escuchar a Árbol de Ojos con la rola Esta canción no es tu canción de su álbum regular que salió en el 2016. Árbol de Ojos se formó en el 2007 de Bogotá, Colombia. Definitivamente se escuchan las influencias del rock británico, punk, en otras rolas rockabilly. It's been a minute since we've listened to them, but I was feeling more of the bluesy, garagey rock and roll, man.
Wait. Me confundiste, güey. I thought we were listening to Ojos Pardos right now. No.
No. I switched up.
I'm looking at the.
Yeah, so that's a great jam. Pero I just want to go back to la canción que escuchamos
Lagartija Nick.
anteriormente.
Yeah, tell me about this guys.
Lagartija Nick, man. So these guys have been around since '89, and el nombre de la banda Lagartija Nick is a standalone single from English goth gods,
the pioneers of goth.
Their first album, Hypnosis, is a classic. Que salió en 91. The first jam right off the bat, boom, Love and Rockets, Bauhaus influence right off the bat. Their discography is huge, man. 13 albums. They've had a number of different band changes, but since 2013, so approximately like the last 10, 12 years, it seems like it's the original lineup once again. And when I was listening through their first 3 albums, I kept connecting like bandas like Triángulo, especially Triángulo, because their music is so varied. I'm like, I bet you these guys were a big influence on Triángulo.
I can see that. Definitely see that. Neta, nice. Okay, well then let's keep it going. So now we're gonna listen to Ojos Pardos.
Now we're gonna go to Ojos Pardos.
No. I think she was right. She was right.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because I did change it,
so,
but this is the way I changed it. So it could have been my fault, but I did change it when you told me to change it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So we did listen to Arder en Fuego with
as a matter of fact,
because the music's not coming through, bro. No sabía. Okay, so
Yeah,
acabamos de
in your
escuchar
list,
a
look at your text.
Ojos Pardos de Girona, España. So this is kind of like a newer band.
It's a really good song.
Three dudes from the Catalan area, one guy from Vasco, and yeah, just fun bluesy rock and roll. Y ahora vamos a escuchar a
Árbol de Ojos. Esta
Árbol de
canción
Ojos.
no es tu
man.
canción. Y aquí
Esta
en
no
mi
es tu
vecindad,
canción.
you know.
Just go with it, man.
Anyways, aquí seguimos. En mi vecindad. MB, MN, Diablovisión.
You guys are doing a great job. No, that's the list. Look at
I
the
was
list.
listening to it and I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. Okay, am I listening to the old list and I didn't get the refresh?
No, you
Because I'm
look at
listening to Ojos Pardos, you know,
Diabolico.
like-
Look at your list.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, my notes were a little
Yeah.
twisted.
Yeah, but
All right, I got it. I got it now. So Black
Yeah.
Islands
Yeah.
is last. Oh man, I'm so bummed with Black Islands.
Why? What
dude.
happened?
There's no fucking like no. They just like
disappeared.
It happens, dude.
disappeared.
It
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. They're so fucking good. Like they were getting a lot of like attention, a lot of airplay. That's what confuses me is that they were getting airplay here in the US. They were getting their last album got a lot of accolades.
See, wait, but
And so it's
okay,
like, what
if you
the fuck
notice,
happened?
their last album was what, 2018?
The last album was
Okay.
2019.
I knew
yeah.
it was right before pandemic. So I'd played them a few times before pandemic. And yeah, they were getting like, you know, they were getting recognition. But I think
Yeah.
llegó el pandemio and it really messed things up. It
Mhm.
it stopped a lot of bands in their tracks and stopped a lot of careers. A la vez, it created many bands and many careers. So it's kind of a weird, like, you know, but if you were like one of the old guards that were doing it forever and then all of a sudden this stuff hits, who knows, maybe like, you know.
Nico, in
Yeah.
about 5 minutes, you're gonna start your time, okay, mijo?
Este way.
You should do a podcast on parenting, dude.
No way, you could still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear everything you're saying. Bro.
How though? I have my.
You're probably
No.
patched in somewhere, dude.
I'm not kidding. I have the slider all the way down.
Nope.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear everything you're saying, dude.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's so weird. Maybe this channel is just not working.
Maybe.
That is a trip. Black Island.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love their music, but one of the things that we were listening to it and Ariana just kind of pointed out, and when she pointed out, it was so obvious, and she's like, "Oh, I really find it interesting how he like his vocals remind me a lot of Robert Smith. Like kind of like that cry singing." And I was like, "Oh shit."
Can you hear me?
you're
Can you hear me?
fucking right.
Totally hear you.
No
Yeah.
way. You know, I switched the mic.
You're so flabbergasted, dude.
I switched the mic cable to another channel, and you can still hear me.
I cannot believe
Yeah,
this.
that's so. That something's not right. I don't know what I'm doing. And seriously, what the heck? That's the weirdest thing. I don't know. I'm in awe. You know. Anyway, we're listening to Black Islands
Black Islands,
and my
Veneno,
kids in the
man.
background.
Yes. Singing along.
And so something is not right. Something is not right. What is happening?
Yeah, their last show was in 2020.
Yeah, I bet you right before pandemic, like shut everything down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yaman away.
Almost. You got about 45 minutes, 45 seconds.
Cool.
Yeah. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testes.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Nothing makes sense.
No, this doesn't make sense. That's the weirdest thing ever. I think the only thing that comes to mind. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Turning on mics, turning on mics.
Ok, acabamos de escuchar a Black Flag's Veneno de su álbum Patio de Luces que salió en el
Black
2019.
Islands, dude, not Black Flag.
Oh, Black Flag, Black Islands. Canción Veneno de Barcelona, España. Awesome indie garage rock, noise, post-punk de Barcelona que debutó en el 2014. Desafortunadamente parece que su último show fue en el 2020. Yeah, probably a casualty of the pandemic. Y anterior de eso, I'm just going to do a quick recap. Escuchamos a Ojos Pardos con la canción Arden en Fuego, un sencillo que salió el año pasado de Girón, España. Y empezamos el set con Lagartija Nick, con la rola Tan Raro, Tan Extraño, Tan Difícil, de su clásico iconic álbum Hipnosis del 91. Y Ojos Pardos con la rola Arden en Fuego, un sencillo que también salió el año pasado.
Nice. Well, wonderful stuff. And you know, a couple of fallas técnicas from Dr. G, but other than that, you know, it wouldn't be Vecindad.
Yep.
Anyway, so let's keep it going. You know what? Regresamos a México, a Monterrey, México, con un grupo que igual creo que ya no existen. Esta rola is from a comp from Abstract Musak de 2014. Okay? And I think the song's even a year or two older than that. Este es un grupo que se llama Malos Modelos. Malos Modales, sorry.
Modales,
El Mundo Nos Mata. Okay? They were around for at least up until around pandemic. Dos discos, 2 or 3 EPs, you know. So they're around, pero también como maybe another casualty of the pandemic, because I haven't heard anything from since like 2018, 2019. Anyways, Malos Modales, El Mundo Nos Mata.
Mi Vecindad, MN, Diablo Visión. What was that rumbling noise, dude?
Can you hear me?
I heard a rumbling noise.
I think it was
You can still hear me though.
I can hear you, yeah.
Holy shit, that's just so weird. I don't get it. The only thing is that for some reason my computer mic is picking everything up and it's not going through the actual.
Oh yeah, I could be picking up your mic
but everything that's set as far as the sound and the setting, everything's coming from the Roadcaster, because you guys are coming in. Think about it. That's the only way that you guys can come in. Which that's why I'm in awe. Like, why can you guys still hear me?
Is this your backup set or is this your set?
Now you're muted.
Now, the fucking mute works now.
he probably broke it.
Can you hear us, dude? Nah, I can't hear you, man.
I can't hear you. I can hear Manolo. Now I can hear you.
You figured it out.
I figured it out, man.
It was the other button.
There we go.
Now we can hear everything.
It happens.
Aquí en mi vecindad.
Literally one little button that happens on the last time, but it's a different button. Now there's 2 buttons.
Now we can barely hear you. Now we can hardly hear you at all.
That was a good jam, man.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I went with
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can tell
Much
you.
better.
I went and kind of followed half of your set, Manolo, and went with comfort. Just like revisiting songs that
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. There you go.
Well, it was kind of a set that I had stashed, and I was like, "Holy fuck, it's late.
Yeah.
Nadie me ha mandado nada, so
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
exactly.
sing this."
Vaya.
This was a great fucking album, man. Yeah.
Where's La Paloma from?
Madrid.
Man, yeah, such a great.
Yeah.
Are they still around?
Part
Yeah,
of the
yeah. They're
part
one of the new
pandemic.
It's like
Hola.
tonight's set is a bunch
Yeah.
of bands from pre-pandemic that some don't exist, or new bands from the pandemic and on.
Already.
And then a couple bands como El Chirota that we're gonna play up that have straddled both sides and have weathered and endured.
Sounds like a position.
Yeah.
So the last song that we listened to, Malos Modales, is that pretty much their sound?
Not really. So I mean, take it with a grain of salt. Like it's one of the better songs that I found, and it happens to be on a comp too. So
Nice. Yeah, when I did that deep dive into Lagartija Nick, dude, I shit you not, man. Like, I was listening to their first album and I was digging some songs, and so I was like going, okay, like save for later. And then I was listening to their next album and I was like, shit, save for later, save for later.
don't you love that?
Different-
Don't you love that
different
though, dude? Don't you
Yeah.
love going
Yeah.
into a deep dive and it's a rabbit hole and you just find more good nuggets? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
doesn't it make you feel like that kid back in 89 or 91 and getting that CD where you're just going like, crap, this is amazing. Let me go get the
Yeah.
next one, And I feel like the music scene has been like that the last handful of years where, where have you been all my night?
Right.
La Paloma. La edad que tengo. All right, that was one of our jams aquí en mi vecindad
Best of.
last year. La Paloma,
Yeah.
Manolo and I were talking about it afuera del aire. Great album that came out last year. La Paloma been around since 2020, so they're from the pandemic on, doing some good stuff. Antes de eso escuchamos a Malos Modales con el sencillo El Mundo Nos Mata from Abstract Music Comp from 2014. Manolo was asking me if they're still around, what's up with them. I don't think so. They haven't put out anything since 2018 or so. So I don't think
Yeah.
so. But maybe we'll play them again because that jam was great.
I appreciated the snotty vocals.
Yeah, the attitude. I like the energy, the attitude.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. So let's go into some comfort food. Okay. No secret that we are fans of La Moda here. Shoot me, I guess. Whatever. Anyways. And thinking about it, Manolo, when I picked this song again, and I knew you were going to say, man, but you picked it the last time. You haven't played some of their older jams. And the funny thing is they haven't put out an album since this one.
And this one came out
early
when?
2023. So over 2 years now. They're due.
due.
So
They're due.
I think, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, Miraflores, la maravillosa orquesta del alcohol. I don't know. The lyrics.
La Moda,
The lyrics just sing to me on this one. Anyways, check it out. Miraflores, aquí en mi vecindad. Sorry, hermano.
MN, Diablo Visión.
So I was muted.
Okay. And
Nice.
maybe I like this one because it's more of their straight rock instead of like, you know.
Yeah, definitely the last two songs. It's like they're fucking awesome jams, you know.
Yeah, from here until the rest of the end of the set, I'm just playing songs that I actually like. I revisit from time to time by myself. You know.
Nice. Yeah, no, I've turned some people on to La Moda, man. I'm like, check this shit out. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, La Moda is like one of those. How should I say? It's kind of like Jaguares or Maná back in the day. You know that, like, okay, safe. Even if you're not into this kind of stuff, you like it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow. I kind of, you know what's funny is I kind of see it a different way. I kind of see it like it. Well, maybe this is just my like why like I really like La Moda. It's like it strikes a chord of a little bit of like melancholy, like beauty and melancholy, because a lot of their jams do have that.
Well, they're definitely more artistic than some of the bands that I mentioned. You know, and they definitely fall more into like if you're into like Tom Waite or Mumford Sons or anything like that, then these guys will be like, or a little bit of like replacements, late replacements. You know what I'm saying? Like the more like mellow jams. But even for people that like don't listen to that kind of stuff, like, you know, it's one of those like comfort bands. You know.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I'm wondering qué van a hacer in the new album because they've been. I mean, ya tienen. Oh, gee, how many years they got going on? Pushing 15 now, or at least 12, 13.
Yeah,
About yeah. I mean, they started when they were like 19.
Yeah, they
were young.
They were young,
right? And now they're probably in their 30s now. So, you know.
This Okimoki también trips me out, but it's such a great song.
Yeah. I don't think they're around anymore. They haven't done anything in years.
It always seemed to me like it was an experimental.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know.
They're definitely they're an art band from Bilbao. Mm-hmm. You know, very art. You know, almost like not like the yeahs, but art in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Where they're more like. Mm-hmm. Because it's just a duo. It's una pareja, you know. And they play all the instruments and do everything themselves.
Chicles.
Oh, you can hear her snoring?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to mute myself.
How old's Chicles?
6, dude. No, she's okay. She's definitely middle-aged.
Yeah.
Because they only go to about like 10, 11, 12 if you're lucky, you know?
Yeah, I think both.
Yeah.
Both Fencer and Drexel made it to 12, which was.
Well, welcome back. Aquí estamos en mi vecindad. Acaban de escuchar a Okimoki Efimero. Son de San Sebastián, which is basically a suburb of Bilbao, right outside. Antes de eso, La Moda, con la canción Miraflores, también de País Vasco. Yeah, just jams that I've liked playing on and off the last couple of years aquí en mi vecindad. So, I mean, Manny started this nostalgia thing, so I figured, let me just keep going. So, let me go from País Vasco back to Mexico, and I'm gonna go with two of my easy top 10 favorite bands de la nueva escena de Mexico. And we're gonna go with El Chirota. No sé todo.
Quick pimp out. Esta banda que sigue y la que sigue, both of them have spotlights in Mi Vecindad.
Yep. For a reason.
Just
for a reason.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they're badass. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, anyways, check it out. El Chirota, No sé todo. Just una bandota de México.
MVMN, Teatro Visión, Mi Vecindad.
All right.
Yeah, definitely a reason why. I'm glad you pointed that out, Manolo.
Yeah. I always try to bring it back to that. It's like, hey, we fucking have spotlights on these fuckers.
You know, and I didn't do it on purpose. I played it because I actually really, pretty much the whole set that I played is just songs that, like, outside of the first one, Malos Modales, all these other songs I've been listening to off and on. Like, I go back and revisit some of our sets, and I'm like, man, these are great songs. You know, like, and you know, by the way, El Chirota made our top albums, de Mi Vecindad, 2 years ago. So not 2024, but 2023. Amazing album. And I think that's when we did hicimos las dos entrevistas con El Chirota en Bondre in 2023. So check them out in our podcast. They're there. And Bondre's got some new stuff, so I might be playing it in a little bit. You saw it too? Okay.
Their new stuff sounding good, man. It surprised me. Yeah. Because I know, like, Moti left and she's doing her thing. And Adrian also moved on. But,
yeah. And Chirota's been doing this since 2012, dude. Chip on it, you know. And I like the way both these songs flow together.
Yeah, they're good.
And desafortunadamente, neither one of these bands, I want to say, like, they should be bigger than they are.
Well, El Chirota, I'm fucking ecstatic that they're getting a lot of notoriety in Europe. You know, they did their European tour, which is fucking awesome.
They're really well supported, you know.
You're
realize, what was that?
¿Qué onda? Apenas te escuchas, güey.
Oh, can you hear me now? A little bit or less?
Poquito, güey. Es que no. Pues, ¿qué onda? Cerveza y resistencia. Saludos, homies. No, es que G, tu micro, like, cuts in and out.
Really?
Yeah.
How about now?
Pues sí, güey, pero.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking that how El Chirota is such a really, really good band. And thinking about, there's never going to be another Caifanes, but in the evolution of music, there's going to be another set of really popular bands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so because Caifanes can't keep taking that role for Mexico.
No, güey. México tiene un montón de bandas buenotas, güey. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
it's like what's his name? Like Chente was Chente and the lead forever. You know, his counterparts, Antonio and Aguilar and whatever. But prior to them, right, there was the older, right. So
Javier
who's
Solís,
that-
Pedro
who's that
Infante,
for? Right, because Molotov is also old.
Sí, están rucos, güey. Miré un video de them playing, like, I think, Vive Latino o Extremo,
Yeah,
one of those.
Yeah.
Ya estaban más rucos que salir.
Yeah.
They look beat up, dude. Like,
So thinking about it, Chirota, and because of the song, thinking like they are so very versatile too.
Mhm.
So what is next for them?
no sé, el Chirota cuando empezaron, I really liked their hardcore stuff when they
Yeah.
first started out. That I was really impressed with.
Yeah. So anyhow, thinking about how what's next? What's next?
I found them.
Oh, when we played them?
Yeah, those are the episodes for Mi Vecindad. So Chirota is show number 265. Bondre is number 258.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it was a while ago.
So Pimp Daddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
No manches, okay. Yo pensé que era más como like a little bit ago, Pero.
I had to fucking crawl into the fucking playlist to find that shit. I was like, fuck, reload,
lot, right?
load more, load more.
Imagine how many songs we have out there.
Yeah. Well, this is capítulo 337, and we didn't archive a lot of them. So
yeah, who's and again, there's never going to be another Caifanes, but or Café Tacuba or even Maná, right? But who's the next, or is it going to be totally different? Like these guys. For Mexico. Think about it. Who really is right now pulling? How are these guys are pulling as far as like numbers, support, attendance?
Well, I can't. Yeah. No puedo parar de pensar. Okay, let's look at. Nos enfocamos en esta rola de Bondre, Dualidad. Okay, it's a couple of years old. Can you imagine if they would have come out with this single in '95 on Culebra Records when Hole was really big here in the States?
Right. And so
Well, I think the one thing that's so back then, I think was the audience ready to listen to awesome music that was not in English? I think now they are. I'm not too sure that they were back at that time.
We were.
And the only reason we were, pero when I was listening to Lagartija Nick, dude, their first two albums, 91, 92, and I was like, fuck, this music is exactly what we were listening to at the time in English. And so I always keep coming back to why the fuck didn't we hear about it? Check out their first two albums, dude, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
You're talking about Bondre?
No.
No,
Pero
Lagartija Nick.
es más como la comparando, mira. Como si, like, esta rola de Bondre, Dualidad, one of my favorite jams from Bondre, okay? And like Gabby likes it a lot because she was a big Hole fan when she was a kid. For all the ups and downs with Hole, she was a big fan. So I played it. She goes, "Man, it sounds like something like Courtney Love would have done." I'm like, "Yeah, totally sounds like something like,
Right.
and the same caliber. It's not a knockoff. It's the same caliber,
if you go into the lyrics on some of their songs, I mean, there's a lot of vulnerability in the songs.
Well, to create this in general, regardless of influence or whatnot, it's. I mean, it's musicianship is.
Mhm.
It's some really good talent. I mean, that's why I think El Chirota. As far as like, is Mexico ready? And I go back to Mexico porque son de Mexico, right? Pero like, are they ready for, like, you know? And again, there's never going to be another Caifanes. But anyway, turning on mics.
Acabo de escuchar a Vondre con la canción Dualidad. Antes de eso, el Shirota. No sé todo. Dos bandotas de México. Just kick ass, dude. Like, I like both of them. Como dice Manolo, like, we had the honor and privilege of doing interviews with both bands. No hace mucho, maybe about a year or so. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe 2 years. Okay, 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
But check it out. I think El Chirota, we did it right when this album came out. And just check them out. Check out both these bands. All the bands we played tonight deserve.
So the musical spotlight for El Chirota is episode 265, y for Vondre 258. Awesome musical spotlights.
That's all within a couple months of each other. Well, good for us. Ooh, word flex. Anyways, I had a good time tonight. It was comfort food. We played a lot of songs that I personally love here in Vecindad, and I just wanted to share it with everybody. Yeah.
You know, somehow with all the ups and downs, we're managing to end early.
I think because there was ups and downs.
No, but that's the thing. The music kept going, so really it was interesting. But anyhow, vamos a terminar esta noche con el grupo Super Litio de Cali, Colombia, representing Cali, Colombia since 1997. So imagine that back in the day. I think we were very surprised cuando escuchamos ese tipo de alternativo de Colombia. And back in the 90s, we were just, aportando con todo lo que nos llegaba de todo el mundo, literally.
Yep.
And I'm not sure, was it you, Chivo, and Manolo who got this from one of the records stores in because I don't remember exactly.
I didn't get Super Lito. I think honestly, I think it was either you or Leo gave it to us.
Yeah, I'm thinking it also maybe came way because of another.
Or Aslan. Because I don't think Manolo and I ever got it.
Right. Bueno, vamos a terminar con Super Litio del primer álbum del 97 con la canción Santo Sapo Saltarines. Damn. Very alternative, very interesting at the time. Y el álbum Marciana. Y con eso.
Very, very ravey.
And alternativo, So, con eso terminamos esta noche.
Hasta la próxima semana, muchachos. Sagur.
Buenas noches, raza. Se cuidan.
Mi vecindad.
Yeah, I think you might have gotten it through Aslan Records because sometimes you'd bring in like.
They probably sent it. See, I remember Superlito for sure.
Yeah.
Whether I'm just. Yeah, it's a strong part. You know what? I remembered now. Thank you for reminding me. It was Juicy.
Okay.
Juicy from
New York. She sent it to you.
From New York. She was in contact with all the Colombian bands. She's from Colombia.
Okay.
And so she's the one who brought Terciopelados to us.
Yeah.
The first Corazón en la Mano. So she, via Juicy, and thank you, Juicy Acosta. They at the time, ran Grita Records and and still doing stuff, up in Nueva York. But yeah, it was UC who sent it to us. That's what it was.
Yeah, I knew it had been something because
Yeah. So Super Litio, yeah, and they were, and their last album, or the most popular album, was produced by Tweety. What's that? His nickname?
Is it weird that this kind of reminds me a little bit of La Barranca for some reason?
Yeah.
well, La Barranca was all over the place. That was what was weird about.
They were dark too, kind of, right?
Oh yeah. They were. It all depends what album are you listening to. De La Barranca,
But you're right. But it's very 90s alternativo.
Yeah.
Absolutely, like in every shape and form. But anyhow, yeah, their last album, I think it might have been their last album, or the most popular album. It's like, Tropicana, and so they've definitely eventually incorporated a lot of tropical Colombian type rhythms, which a lot of bands, alternativos from back in the 90s, were doing, mixing the popular folk music from the country, right?
That was a beautiful thing about the 90s, and I think that's what's going on right now. A lot of bands are revisiting the 90s because growing up in the 90s, we thought the 80s were so influential, and they were.
Yeah.
But I think the 90s were just as, if not even more, in the sense to where it really just flooded everything. And then, of course, by the time you got to the 2000s, they just turned into like a treadmill of
what's that hip hop with metal and new metal, and
yeah,
the new metal took off, and and then
a lot of it
British emo,
yeah.
But
Anyways,
anyhow,
muchachos.
Buenas noches, stream, Facebook.
Till
Hasta
next
la
week,
próxima.
we'll surprise you with something totally different next week.
Totes.
Yeah. All right, muchachos. Hasta la próxima.
Buenas noches.